Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into a really fascinating interpretation of two Quranic verses, and honestly, it might completely change how you think about the relationship between humanity and the unseen world.
So, here's how we're going to tackle this. We'll start with the basics, clay and fire. Then we'll introduce this idea of a single link design, which is where things get interesting. After that, we'll break down each piece, the human pole, which is the medium that learns, and the Jinn pole, the signal that moves. And finally, we'll put it all together to see how they form one engine and reveal a truly grand design.
All right, let's start with what most of us already know. If you've ever read scripture, you're probably familiar with the idea that humans and jinn have very different origins.
We're told that humans come from a type of clay, a stable physical medium. Meanwhile, jinn come from a smokeless fire, a kind of penetrating energy or force. On the surface, they seem like polar opposites, right? Like two completely separate, unrelated creation stories.
But what if that's not the whole story? What if that separation is, well, an illusion? The source material we're looking at today suggests a pretty radical idea that connects them in a deep, fundamental way.
And this is where it gets really mind-bending. The core claim here is that these aren't separate creations at all. Instead, they're two complementary parts of a single unified system. Think of it like the north and south poles of a magnet. They look different, they function differently, but you can't have one without the other. They're part of the same thing.
This raises a huge question that reframes everything we thought we knew. It suggests there's some kind of deeper design principle at work here. And to figure it out, we have to look past the simple translations and really decode the original language.
So let's start decoding this axis, and we'll begin with the first pole, the human side. This interpretation calls it medium first. The verse describes the human origin with the phrase Hama Masnun. Now this isn't just plain old mud. The analysis suggests Hama is a living, responsive medium. But the real key is the word Masnun. It means grooved, as in it's a medium that's designed to have tracks or pathways etched into it. You can think of these like the grooves that get worn down by habits, by natural cycles, or by any kind of learned behavior.
And check this out. This is how that learning mechanism works. The medium, that's the human system, is constantly taking in signals from the outside world. Experiences, routines, the cycle of day and night, you name it. Through repetition, those signals carve a track, a pathway. And over time, that whole process concentrates what's been learned into a seed, a piece of knowledge, a memory, or a skill.
So, the bottom line is this. The human architecture is built from the ground up to accumulate knowledge through experience over time. It's a stable foundation that's designed to learn and build on itself.
Okay, now for the flip side. Let's look at the perfect mirror image of this process, the Jinn pole. The source material calls this one signal first. The key word here is al-samum, which describes the fire that jinn are made from. The root of this word implies something that doesn't just get hosted by a medium. It actively penetrates and influences it right from the start. It's like a hot wind that permeates everything it touches. And the mechanism here is the exact reverse of the human one. The signal hits first, creating an immediate influence, emotion, or a spark of inspiration within a medium. It doesn't wait around to form a track. It acts directly and instantly.
So this defines the Jinn architecture as one built for speed, influence, and force. It's an active signal that causes change, rather than a stable medium that records it.
Okay, so we've decoded both poles. Now it's time to bring them together and see the full engine at work. This is really where the dual-axis design comes to life.
And at the heart of this whole thing is a simple, beautiful mirror image. For humans, the medium comes first, and it processes the signal. For jinn, the signal comes first, and it penetrates the medium. As you can see, it's the exact same two components, just in a totally reversed flow.
This table just lays out the entire system so clearly. You can see how the two poles are perfect complementary opposites. The direction of flow is reversed. The mechanism for one is slow track formation, while for the other, it's rapid penetration. The outcome for humanity is accumulated knowledge, this little seed, while for the jinn, it's immediate motion or agitation. And this gives them their distinct roles in the world, stability and learning on one side versus mobility and influence on the other.
So, what does this all mean when you put it together? What's the big picture that this interpretation is painting for us?
The final takeaway here is, well, it's powerful. We're not just looking at two different types of beings. We're looking at a dynamic interplay, an engine with two essential, counterbalancing parts. One side, humanity, grounds things and accumulates learning. The other side, the jinn, penetrates and creates motion.
And this leaves us with one last, really thought-provoking question. If this interpretation holds up, and humanity and the unseen are truly two interconnected parts of one single, grand engine, it really makes you wonder, what is the ultimate purpose of this beautifully balanced cosmic design?